Hi there. Who's that cute dog there? I wanted to give you an idea. Oh, and there's that other cute girl. She says, woohoo, I'm looking outside. Anyway, I wanted to give you an idea about house training, how this works. So let me show you the first station. And this is what I call my safe zone. This is an area that's near me. The dogs are near me, so they've got a lot of supervision, and I'm just watching them one-on-one. And this is an exercise pen. You can get them through Amazon or PetSmart or what have you. They're everywhere. But anyway, it's just a little sort of accordion style fencing that you can put around you. Some people use baby pens. You do all kinds of things. That's not the right word for that. You know, baby play yard kind of a thing. Anyway, you want something that's a little bit confined for the dog to be your safe area. So the dog is going to start in the safe area, and this is how the pattern goes. So say you're working with increments of 2 hours between potties outside, which is about, you know, where you would start. Probably I would start that when you get to your house. You'll quickly make it longer, but for now, let's work with an increment of 2 hours when you first take them. So they start there in the safe zone, and then after they've spent 1 hour there, I'm going to take them out to what I call the courtyard. And the courtyard is this little enclosed area. They go to the courtyard. It's kind of boring, but that's where they will spend 3 or 4 minutes. And I'm looking for someone to pee. If they pee, woo-woo, it's a big party, and they get a treat, and then they get to be free. They have access to the rest of the yard now, and also to be free in the house for an hour. All that together. They get to spend another hour going wherever they want. If they don't go, though, in that first 3 or 4 minutes, it's no big deal, but I'm going to take them back to the safe zone. The main thing is I don't want them to have free access to the house or free access to the yard if they're close to needing to have to go potty. So what'll happen is, again, they have 3 or 4 minutes to be in the courtyard. If they don't go potty, no big deal, but they're going to go straight in back into the little confined area, the safe zone. And I'm going to give them another maybe 10 minutes and then take them back out again, give it another try. Very quickly they'll realize the fastest way to avoid that confined area and the fastest way to get out of the courtyard is to go potty. So they go potty, everything's good, and then they have access to the yard and access to the inside of the house for another hour. Okay, so that's an hour an hour since they've pottied has now passed. Okay, so then at that point, I'm going to take them back in to spend another hour in the safe zone. Okay, so now 2 hours has passed, an hour free and an hour in the safe zone. Then I just do the very same thing again. They go outside and they get another shot at the courtyard going potty. If they go quickly, they get to be free for another hour going wherever they want, inside, outside. They're unlikely to have to go potty during that time because they just went an hour ago. But after an hour, it becomes a little more dicey. So I'm going to take them back inside for that second hour and put them in the safe zone. Okay? So after that period of time in the safe zone, 2 hours has passed, we're going to go back and do it again. Now always remember, if it's been, you know, that hour free time and then the hour in the safe zone has passed and you're taking them to the courtyard, they only have about 3 or 4 minutes to go potty. If they don't go, then they need to go back into confinement. You just don't want them walking around the house in that second hour. You don't want them walking around the backyard in that second hour free in a time where they might go potty in the wrong place. You just want to have every opportunity to have them be rewarded and have them go potty in the right place. So that's kind of how that works. Just keep in mind those 3 stations that they're always going to be in. They're either going to be in the safe zone, they're going to, where they're being monitored, or they're going to be in the courtyard for a couple of minutes, or they're going to earn their freedom and be able to be in the yard or free in the house or what have you. And that's kind of how that, look at a little wrestling going on in here. But essentially that's how, that's kind of how the thing goes. And so when you're doing it that way, Truman, And so when you're doing it that way, what they're kind of finding out is that it's important to go outside quickly and go potty quickly. You'll appreciate that in the winter. Secondly, it's really, they're having the experience of how it feels to hold it. And thirdly, they're not having accidents just any old where in the house. And fourthly, they're getting lots of rewards for going in the right place. So that's kind of the skinny there. Now, when we're working in the beginning with increments of an hour in the safe zone, and then essentially, you know, that quick pit stop in the courtyard, and then an hour free, then you want to start going longer. And that's what we've been working on. Now we're working on like an hour and a half. They get to be free for an hour and a half, and then an hour back in the courtyard. I'm sorry, they get to be free in the yard or the house, and an hour back in the safe zone. So working with a little longer intervals, that's how they really get this feeling of realizing what it feels like to hold their pee. And so you'll work from an hour and a half, eventually up to you know, where maybe it's an hour and a half free, an hour in the safe zone here. Pretty soon it's a couple hours each place. You kind of work up to 3.5 hours total. You're just working on a little more holding time as we work through here. So, and really the only way to gauge that is by, you know, you're taking them as far as you can and as long as you can. You're looking for a lot of success. And if they have an accident, or if they have a couple accidents, you probably ask them to hold it too long. So just back off the time that you're asking for. But that's kind of how the whole thing works. I will follow up with, hi buddy, I'll follow up with a written document about how to do that. One other small note, if you don't want to put up a courtyard like that, it's no big deal. You'll just need to kind of follow the dog and walk around. You just want to kind of follow PG or follow Pip. Pip likes a little bit of privacy, by the way. She just doesn't necessarily want to potty. No. She doesn't necessarily want to potty in front of everybody. And so you might find that maybe you need to, you know, she needs to be behind bushes or something like that. She's a very private girl. But anyway, and with PG, with regard to him pooping, he likes to, he needs a little bit of movement. He needs to move around a little bit before he can potty. And so be aware of that. The courtyard is mainly going to be for pee. And then, but then, like I said, if you don't want to do the courtyard at all, just kind of follow them around. You're following, waiting for them to go potty, and that way you're near them for the reward when they do finally go. But don't wait forever. They get 3 or 4 minutes. If they don't go, they go straight back into the courtyard. Or I'm sorry, they go straight back into the safe zone. So it's a lot of work, and you know, unfortunately, it's something I would probably keep on pretty strongly for a full month. Unfortunately, older puppies are hard because they have, you know, they have a history of doing it otherwise. So you're really having to overlay this house training protocol over something they've been doing differently for 6 months, for, you know, longer than they've been alive. So I mean, longer than they have not done it. So anyway, that's the skinny. If you hang in there, grit your teeth, be methodical about it, for the rest of their life, you can just kind of relax and let it go. But if you're not super methodical in this time, you can limp along for the rest of your life, or the rest of the dog's life. Hey. So anyway, that's all I've got for you right at this moment for house training, but wanted to just kind of familiarize with you with the way that we've been doing it. All right, hope you're doing great. Thanks.